often like to go out into nature, away from the hustle and bustle of the city, the dirty air and people's misunderstandings. I was lucky because I have a house in a village that lies in the middle of a forest. In the past, it was my favorite place to go on weekends, but now I've changed my mind. After a hard week at work, I decided to go out of town as usual. I picked up some groceries, threw them in the trunk, and hit the road. I arrived in the evening, was tired from the drive, and immediately went to bed. I fell asleep quickly and soundly. The sound of the car alarm woke me up. Well, I thought, maybe an animal ran by. I looked out the window, made sure there were no thieves, and turned off that awful noise. I lay back down and was just about to fall asleep when the alarm started working again. Without getting up, I pressed the button and everything went quiet. But after 5 minutes, the alarm started screaming again. Well, once, okay, twice, but more than that, you start having bad thoughts. A little scared, I still got up, unplugged again, but did not lie down and began to watch through the curtain who decided to play in the middle of the night. I watched, and then I see, behind the light of the lantern in the bushes, began to appear someone's shadow. And the shadow approached the car and showed its shape. Something thin, in a black coat with a hood, about 2 meters tall with long, thin arms, approached the car leisurely, tapped on the wheel and went back into the bushes. At that moment, I understood that it was time to be afraid. Shaking with fear, I turned off the alarm and continued to watch. Something came out of the bushes, approached the gate, threw an arm over it, and removed the partition that held the gate doors closed. I was gripped with fear. Who is it? What does it want from me? Why doesn't it want to go away? I couldn't move. Goosebumps ran from my head to my heels and back again, sending shivers through my body. My mouth was dry and my mind began to paint frightening pictures in panic. Gritting my teeth and clenching my hands into fists, I came to my senses and ran as fast as I could up the stairs to the first floor. And just as my hand reached for the light switch to find something to protect myself from the guest, I froze. I froze because it was staring out the window. With its hands on the glass, it was looking to see if anyone was home or not. That's when I understood. The whole thing with the car was a lure for the victim to be outside. Why? I didn't want to know, and I still don't want to know. But the fact is the fact. It's here, and it's looking for me. His breath began to fog the window, and I was glad because I couldn't take my eyes off his face. Skin the color of ash, covered with wrinkles. Deep, small, beady black eyes. Instead of a nose, there were 2 holes. His breathing was so heavy and hoarse it made my lungs collapse. There were no lips, just 2 rows of sharp yellow teeth. I couldn't be seen because I was in the back of the house, but it wouldn't just leave. After standing at the window, it went to the door. A knock, and then another. In the gap under the door, I saw it trying to get its fingers under the door. The doorknob started jerking up and down frantically, and the sounds wasn't like a human voice. It was an animal growl. You know when you take a bone away from a dog and it growls in anger? Something like that, only angrier and louder, was coming from the creature. I knew that if it heard me, it wouldn't leave me alone and it would find a way into the house. So I just lay there on the stairs and waited for it to end. Tears started streaming down my face, no matter how hard I tried to hold them back. My temples started pounding so hard it felt like my soul was shaking. I passed out. When I woke up, I looked at the door. The door was still there. I had never been so happy. I got up from the stairs and looked out the window. It was daylight outside the window and the sun was quite high in the sky. Without thinking, I went upstairs, took the keys, and went to the car without packing. As I walked out the door, I saw his footprints on the floor, proof that I wasn't crazy. The broken handle, the scratches on the door, and the boards from the gate lying in the middle of the road also spoke for themselves. I jumped into the car and drove away from the village. On the way, when I turned on the radio, I heard that the bodies of 2 girls had been found in the morning near this village. The bodies had been mutilated and dumped in the swamp. creature had finally found what it was looking for.